aphorism and start with a story. So just to make you active and lively today. So this story is about a boy who was having a small fight with his mother. Of course, all the kids do have that. So in this fight, he got so agitated that he just ran out of the room and jumped from the balcony. The mother, when seeing the son do that, got suddenly shocked and fainted. The boy, when he jumped, he of course knew that there is a sunshade to the balcony and he just jumped on the sunshade. So it was not that he committed a suicide, but he just wanted to put the mother off the edge. This mother was in a state of shock. She fainted, but when she got up, she had a terrible headache and she developed severe palpitation. So this case, what do we learn? From this case we learn that sometimes from sudden surprises, let it be joy or a bad news or anything which is very sudden, can create an impact on our body and our body may just give up and bring on a disease. Of course, in this case, coffea was prescribed and we had a wonderful recovery for the mother. So when we are thinking about cure, we have to understand that there are certain things which bring on the diseases or trigger the diseases. So today's fifth aphorism is about the things which bring on the diseases. The two main causes which bring on the diseases are exciting cause and fundamental cause. Let's start with the exciting cause over here. What are exciting causes? So, exciting causes are the causes which excite and bring on two things: acute diseases or acute exacerbation of chronic diseases. So, exciting cause, like certain acute diseases which attack individually are brought on by the injurious influences of exciting cause. In gist, exciting cause are the causes which excite and bring on acute diseases. Now, what does exciting cause trigger? Exciting cause triggers and brings on either acute disease or acute exacerbation of chronic disease. Now let's see certain examples of exciting cause. Examples are chills, overheating, excess or insufficient supply of food, so chills, overheating, excess or insufficient supply of food, physical or emotional strain, etc. are some of the examples for exciting causes. Why does an exciting cause bring on, or how does an exciting cause bring on acute disease? Now, what does the exciting cause do is that exciting cause brings on transient explosion of latent sora, which if returns spontaneously will not bring on disease, but if not, it can bring on acute disease. So how does the exciting cause work? The exciting cause brings on transient explosion of latent sora, which if returned spontaneously will not bring on disease, but if it does not return spontaneously, then can trigger acute disease or acute exacerbation of chronic disease. Now this is about exciting cause, but you have to understand that where did I get all these examples? Other than fifth aphorism, exciting cause examples are given in Aphorism 73. Now what is the clinical importance of exciting cause? That is, how does exciting cause help in your clinic? So, clinical importance of exciting cause. First one is selection of medicine. Of course, you can write example of a case which I told you, that is bad effects of sudden surprise or joy. Remedy is coughlea. So there are many things, exciting causes which brings on disease, like from getting wet in rain. So of course we can think of rust. So damp climate, or suddenly because of any particular acute exposure, like that day I had told about overheating. We can think of calcarea silicata. So exciting cause helps us in selection of medicine. How does the exciting cause further help us? If you understand what is the exciting cause and you avoid it, it can stop the recurrence of the disease or progression of the disease. If you timely intervene and avoid it, you can avoid the disease from coming up. Third is, it helps in curing indisposition. When we study indisposition, that time I will tell you. But if you remove certain things or exciting cause, then you can cure the patient even without giving medicines. So that's how the study of exciting cause helps us. Now let's go to the second part, that is fundamental cause. So what are fundamental cause? Fundamental cause are the causes which bring on or chronic diseases. Say they bring on chronic diseases and they come they occur due to chronic miasm. As exciting cause brings on acute diseases or acute exacerbation of chronic diseases, same ways fundamental cause are causes which because of chronic miasms bring on the chronic diseases. But how do we understand or how do we investigate or find out about the fundamental cause? So, investigation of fundamental cause is by first physical constitution of the patient, moral and intellectual character, occupation, mode of living or habits, social and domestic relations, age, sexual function, etc. This includes even the history of the patient, the past and the present history also. So this is how you find out about the fundamental cause. Now, what is the importance, clinical importance of fundamental cause? So, the clinical importance, IMP means importance of fundamental causes, same way it helps in selection of remedy. Second, in controlling the recurrence of the disease. To cure certain tendencies. So, with this we can understand that fundamental cause, how does it becomes important for us. Like for example, I can tell you a patient who has got severe gastric complaint. Now every time he has potatoes or dal, he comes up with gas formation and irritations and belching, and he feels better by irritation, and the case points towards carbovich. Now you give him carbovich and the patient is at 200 or 30 potency, whatever potency is that time according to you seems right. Now you give carbovich and the patient is feeling better. But after a few days or two, that happens that the effect of carbovich just weans off. But again the gastric complaints keep on appearing. Now this time you tell the patient that you have to totally avoid potatoes and dal for few days so that you don't get the attack again. Now the patient does that, but still the attack comes. So there something triggers your mind and you find out that there is something which was not curable or cured enough by carbovich. Now then you understand that this is because of the fundamental cause, that is the miasm. Now in this condition there is a tendency or recurrence of the gastric complaints again and again. So what do you do? What you do is that you search or think of a remedy which helps with bringing back or putting the latent sora again into dormant position and helps the patient, which is a follow-up of carbovich, and corrects the chronic miasm. Now what is such a remedy which helps and is follows up carbovich well and is a good anti-miasmatic remedy well? Also is Kalikar. Now Kalikar, how does it act? It cures the tendency, stops the recurrence of the disease and is a follow-up well of the carbovich also. So this is how exciting cause and fundamental cause will help you understand the case and treat the patient well. Thank you. That's all for today.